Section C, Part 1 of Yasmin. If I can't do what I want to do, then my job is to not do what I don't want to do. Nikki Giovanni, Choices. Yasmin's sisters wanted Taco Bell. Her parents were out, and the girls were screaming, so food duty fell on her at 19, the oldest of the 4 girls. "Okay, fine, I'll go," she said, sighing, and finally shut them up. She would take the bus the whole way up Brooklyn's 5th Avenue, buy all the greasy food, and cart it back. Whatever. It was the summer of 2005, right after the London bus bombings, and Yasmin tied on her white hijab, as she always does, before she walked outside and waited for the B63 bus. The street smelled like an oil spill in the summer heat. A few minutes later, she was stepping onto the bus's black stairs as the vehicle chugged and burped its way slowly into Sunset Park. The bus was crowded in the front, so Yasmin stood in the back like a blade of grass in a forest of people, next to an elderly white couple holding on tightly to each other. As the bus continued down its route, people mounted and dismounted, and several blocks short of Taco Bell, another Muslim woman boarded. Like Yasmin, she also wore a hijab, and she had a baby slung to her chest and a blanket covering her sleeping infant. People moved out of the way as the woman walked carefully up the crowded aisle. She stopped at an empty window seat halfway along the bus, and a man sitting in the aisle seat stood to let her in. She sat down quietly, and the bus engine droned on. Yasmin is one of those people who finds it hard to hold her feelings in, and as the vehicle began moving, she could hear the couple beside her begin to talk. "What do you think she's got under there?" the woman asked the man. "I don't know," he said. "We don't know what's under there." They continued to talk, and Yasmin turned to look at them. "Are they for real?" she thought. "What do they think she's got under there, a bomb?" She had to say something, so she broke into their conversation. "It's a baby," she said in her signature monotone. The couple turned their faces to her. Yasmin could feel the man look through her before she spoke. "Did you see it?" he asked. "It's a baby," she repeated. This can't be happening, she thought. "But did you see it?" "Oh my God, I can't believe these people," she was thinking. She wanted to roll her eyes at the man, but before she could say anything, the couple had already pushed their way up to the driver, a young African-American man in a pressed polyester uniform. She could hear them command the driver to do something. You've got to check what she has under there," the man told the driver. Yasmin glanced into the driver's mirror and saw his face looking back indifferently into the bus. "It's a baby," he said. "But did you see it?" the man insisted. "Did you see that it was a baby?" New passengers began boarding the bus at the stop, and they could hear the conversation rise in tension and volume between the driver and the couple. The words terrorist and bomb floated through the bus. "Look, it's your job to check," the man yelled at the driver, his wife egging him on. "It's your job to check," he repeated. "Otherwise, we're calling the police." Yasmin looked down the bus at the Muslim woman. Her heart crashed for her. But she also began to feel uneasy in her stomach. "After her, it's me," she thought. The driver sighed. Yasmin watched him in the mirror as he rolled his eyes and put the vehicle in park. He stood up, walked down the aisle, and stopped in front of the woman, looking at her without saying a thing. "It's a baby," he yelled across the bus at the man. "But did you see the baby?" the man yelled back. Everybody in the bus was watching. No one said anything. The driver turned back to the woman, and she spoke before he had to. "Do you want to see him?" she asked quietly. She pulled back the blanket, revealing the little baby boy lost in the innocence of sleep. The bus driver was shaking his head as he sat down again, but the couple didn't notice. Yasmin did. And as she saw the couple move to 2 free seats at the very rear of the bus, where they sat down, pulled out their newspapers, and began reading like it was Sunday brunch. She was furious. How could they act as if nothing had happened? They'd just targeted a mother, she thought, and now they simply sat there, self-satisfied, bland, and all puffed up like a plate of rice. She was sure the mother was hurt by the incident, because if it had been her, she would feel humiliated and upset. It wasn't right. The Taco Bell flew by the window. Yasmin slapped the stop requested tape. Yasmin slammed the stop requested tape and got off the bus, angry with herself for not doing anything. As the bus pulled away from the curb, she stood there, frozen in a cloud of diesel exhaust. She grabbed a pen and scrawled the bus's license plate on her hand. 911, what's your emergency? There's a white couple on a city bus. I think she has a bomb in her purse. It's a B63 bus going up 5th Avenue. The license plate is... She wanted to call. She really did, just to make a point, to make them feel the same way, singled out, powerless, discriminated against. A source of irrational fear, but she didn't call. In fact, she didn't do anything, and because of that, she was annoyed with herself.